Your Excellency, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a son of Niger Delta, permanent member of the Council of State from our region, our own Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR. We have 9 state governors in our midst. 2 of them are here with us in person. His Excellency Governor Doye Diri of Bayelsa State, who made a passionate appeal, a very short passionate appeal. Of course, His Excellency the Governor of Ondo State, our own brother, Governor Lucky Ayedetua. We have all the other states have their deputy governors represented here. So, yes, I've seen them. So we have Governor Popus Odimma, represented by the deputy governor who spoke. We have Governor Alex Oti of Abia, represented by the deputy governor who spoke here. We have Governor Moeno, represented by the deputy governor who also spoke here. We have Governor Otu, also represented by the deputy governor. We have our own sheriff of the Niger Delta and governor of Delta State, represented by his governor who also spoke. Then, of course, I'm sure we saw the deputy governor of Edo, but if we did not, you represent 2 of them. So, and then, of course, the head of service of Rivers State, represented Governor Fubara, and our own Momo, on behalf of the ministers. I'm particularly delighted to see the Minister of Petroleum Gas, Right Honorable Ekpo, and also delighted to see my brother Tunji Ojo, the Minister of Interior, who himself is a son of the Niger Delta, and a host of other dignitaries. Of course, I now want to recognize the chairman of the board of NDDC, my brother Chedu Ebie, and the performing managing director in charge of the management, Samuel Obugu, PhD, and all the other management staff, distinguished delegates, captains of industries, Hairs Holding as represented here, our brother Tony Elumelu, and then Professor Osage, who gave a very thought-provoking lecture. Then from the Chief of Defense Staff, I used him as a point of contact to recognize all the other service chiefs, including the representatives of the DGSSS, going all the way down to the DIG and the AIG of the zone, the GOC, and the civil defense and all other service chiefs who are here, all working together to maintain the peace of the Niger Delta region. Let me say that I'm here in a very dual capacity as the son of the Niger Delta and as the second person since the creation of Nigeria to become the Senate President from Niger Delta region. May the soul of our former Senate President, Dr. Joe Wyas, rest in perfect peace. That happened 45 years ago. And today this region is happy and lucky under President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to produce a Senate President. Courtesy of God, the support of the President, and the vote of my colleagues who are here and those who are not here. And I thank you all. I remain highly indebted to you. The Honorable Minister of Niger Delta, my colleague, because I was once a minister, in that ministry. If you are listening, I want to quote you. The inauguration of the board of the NDDC means that we have accepted to be part of the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and to that very extent, we need to be conversant with the 8-point presidential priorities ranging from food security, ending of poverty, inclusivity, job creation, anti-corruption stance, rule of law, amongst others. Therefore, to the board, you are expected to work towards delivery of the presidential renewed hope agenda priorities. We are also aware that there has been a lot of complaints about the NDDC, and I want to use this opportunity to appeal and also direct that this time around we need to change the narrative. We cannot continue to do the same thing the same way and expect that we are going to achieve a different result. Collectively, therefore, we must be committed on how the zone can be transformed. Today, we have captains of industries, we have traditional fathers. When I saw His Royal Majesty, J.S. Spiff, I was very happy. I've seen a lot of others who are here, and I can tell you that this conference is packed with the who is who in the Niger Delta region. And therefore, the outcome of this conference should be like none other before. Renewed hope agenda for sustainable development of the Niger Delta region. I am very happy to identify with this. Mr. President is also delighted to have been invited to stand here, to be amongst you today. So let me say, on my part as a son of the Niger Delta, I had a small speech I wanted to make, but a few issues beg for explanation. Number one, the East-West Road. The East-West Road would have been completed under my tenure as Minister of Niger Delta under the last administration. But some stakeholders, particularly of Ogoni extraction, led a delegation to meet with the then President, President Buhari, to inform him that they did not want the Ministry of Niger Delta to complete the road. They wanted the road to be transferred to the Ministry of Works, at that time headed by my brother, former governor of Lagos State, Fashola. I was very shocked. We had just secured about 75 billion in our hand to conclude, at least particularly from Eleme Junction, when that came. And the president said, well, if that is what you want, so be it. Therefore, the road at that time was then transferred to the Ministry of Works that had no budget that year for the East-West Road. Even the 75 billion that we got from Sukuk could not be used. What am I saying? I'm saying it is Niger Delta that sometimes brings down Niger Delta. This summit must resolve to abolish the syndrome of PhD, which is pull him down syndrome. We must resolve to abolish that syndrome. From the day the Minister of Niger Delta stepped out of that road, no progress has been made till today. The Minister of Niger Delta inherited the road at 8%. And as at the time our brothers with some things from Niger Delta came to insist that the money just released should not be used by the ministry, because they were afraid that the son of the Niger Delta was going to utilize the money in case something remained from there so that he would not make money. And it was also a son of the Niger Delta that convinced the then president to convoke that meeting in order to stop the man standing in front of you from completing that project. So it saddens me when the narrative, years after, is still about East-West Road. That should have been put behind us by now. Realizing, of course, knowing my antecedent as a man who could bring out water from the rock in terms of transformation, like I did in Akpabio. So the MD of NDDC, let it not be said that your management led a delegation to the president that in spite of the good work you are doing, they don't want you to continue. Far from it. We here in the National Assembly are very satisfied with the work we are doing and with the kind of cooperation that the management and the board are having in the Niger Delta Development Commission. Ours is to assure you that we will continue to support you to bring development to the Niger Delta region. Let me just mention key things that you are not just talking about renewed hope agenda and sustainable development. You are practicalizing it. The NDDC today has changed. One of the governors that came here said if the federal government through the Ministry of Works cannot do the road, the East-West Road, it should be transferred to the NDDC. In my time as a governor, the people used to plead that the road from NDDC should be transferred to the governor. That means that NDDC is now working. NDDC is now working. If NDDC was not working under Sam Okubu, there is no way somebody will ask that a road should be transferred to the NDDC. So I thought I should mention that kudos to the management and the board of the NDDC. The former president's presence here underscores his love for Niger Delta. President Jonathan's GCFR, thank you for being here. You have given us a lot of hope. In fact, you have renewed the hope of unity in the Niger Delta region with your presence. I only came to back you up. So I'm happy that two of us are here. And President Bola Tinubu, who is watching us on television right now, is also happy that you are giving direction to the people of Niger Delta to continue to support his renewed hope agenda and by implication support his administration. And we will show so by 2027 when the next election comes and Mr. President is recontesting. I thought I would hear somebody clap for me. Today, Mr. President is very committed to ensuring the development of Niger Delta. The Bayelsa, Port Harcourt, Rivers, Akpabio Road, called East-West Road, will be tackled. The National Assembly, standing here, will do everything possible to ensure that that project is completed within our time. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road started by the President will not only start from Lagos. Mr. President has also agreed that it must also take route from Niger Delta simultaneously. Then it will meet up with the one in Lagos. The Niger Delta Development Commission has never had the kind of budget that they are having in 2024. The President has approved that they can go ahead and get a soft loan of 1 trillion to add to complete all the other projects that they have in mind in order to bring quick development to this region. So the MD of NDDC is no longer going to be lack of funds. It's not going to be a question of commitment. Things have changed. We will not have people from Abuja coming here to stay in the hotel and requesting to be in NDDC to collect money and take back to other states of the Federation. We are going to spend the money of NDDC right here in the Niger Delta region. MD, while you are talking with your minister, listen to what we want you to do. First, there is no greatness in any region or any country when that country is suffering from hunger. The Niger Delta can feed itself, even in terms of rice production, in agriculture. Take up, create fish ponds, empower the people of Niger Delta. Go ahead with swampy rice projects. make sure that we give rights to Nigeria. Let us not be defined only by oil. Let us be defined by our agricultural output for the rest of this country. The summit focused on the theme Renewed Hope Agenda for Sustainable Development should serve as a turning point to all of us in the Niger Delta region. We must seize this opportunity to address the pressing socio-economic challenges we face and remind our nation that we should, like I said, not be defined by oil alone, but rather that we own the oil that Nigeria manages for the rest of the country. Fortunately, the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu set its sights on rewriting our story and erasing our history of neglect. The administration brings a story of renewed hope and prosperity. For me as Senate President, I believe that this is a season we have been waiting for, and it is our time to shine in the Niger Delta region. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to achieve lasting solutions to our problems, we must first address the demons of disunity. Unity among the people of the Niger Delta region and the entire nation is not just a choice, but a necessity. It is through our collective strength, collaboration, and shared vision that we can overcome the obstacles that are placed before us and unlock the potential, the true potential of the Niger Delta region. So we must diversify our narrative and bring in other streams of stories to bear. Rather than remaining in a confined space of one story, we own the oil. We must now own the agricultural sector. We must now own empowerment programs. We must now own the fisheries industries. We must now ensure that our people engage in artificial intelligence and continue with the educational sector. During my tenure as Minister of Niger Delta, I was able to complete your 26-year-old headquarters, which was started by A.K. Oxford in 1994-95, but abandoned by previous administrations. During your tenure, now, you have been able to give Okitipupa in Ondo State about 5 local governments spanning over 86 villages light. They had no light for 15 years, and you have just commissioned that. That's why I said things are changing in the Niger Delta region. Honourable Minister, congratulate the MD and the staff and management of the NDDC for what they are doing. You came to Akpabio State and you commissioned a major bridge at Ibno, which has given them access road to East Robolo and by implication the East-West road to Port Harcourt. This had never happened before. The story of the NDDC is changing. That is why you see all these people coming here. You are renewing the hope of the people of Niger Delta with the actions that are going on. And for this, the President is very delighted and he wants me to congratulate you. The President is very much determined not just to support the Niger Delta region, but also to do everything possible to address the age-old neglect of the region. Calabar all the way to Abuja Road is a priority to this administration. Railway line is going to be included in the coastal road that comes from Lagos. So there will also be a rail line in order to enable you to move your goods and services across the Niger Delta and also take it to the major cities. Brass Nembe Road that you commissioned recently is a major kudos that must be given to the Niger Delta Development Commission. So I must say congratulations. I'm sure the people are also very, very happy. Then, of course, high prep, we're going to clean up. It's something that this administration has taken up as a project they met on ground, but they are determined to finish it. For the East-West Road, we in the Parliament are saying that we are going to stand by you and by our people because we are doing it for ourselves. So let me, on behalf of the National Assembly, reiterate our commitment to supporting development in the Niger Delta region and to let our people know that there is hope. There is hope. Do not despair. The people you are seeing here, including those that are not from Niger Delta, are very determined to place your issue on the front burner, realizing that you have been the major contributor to the nation's economy for years. It is now your turn for the nation to face you. May God bless all of you and bless the Niger Delta region. I thank you all.